Yes, face front, true believers. Welcome to issue 143 of the Pitch Nerds. We are the weekly show where a couple nerds assemble to expel into the ether, the latest in nerdy news, reviews, and occasionally pitch things. I'm Cap, and here, Mr. Frosty, best friend, fellow nerd, and man who just started a new channel where he ASMRs himself eating just husks of corn. Quite lovely.
Oh, God. Nah.
I support thee, Sir Frosty.
I'm just like, throw the corn away.
The hell is that?
So links are down below.
It's weird what people watch. A friend of mine has a channel that he watches, which is just a guy eating a head of lettuce for lunch. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know, it's addicting. And then like people send him in suggestions and stuff like yeah, put ranch and bacon on it and stuff like that. And that's just what he does. He just pulls that out, just and just like, and you watch that for fun. And he's like, yeah, it's a good channel. And I'm just like, okay, you know, who am I to judge? You know, I watch some weird shit sometimes.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. But anyways, good luck to your new channel, sir. I look forward to the next
one
episode.
That doesn't exist, just to be clear, in case anyone's confused.
Really has a thing for corn. Anyways, my
I
goodness.
do like corn, but yeah, I mean, especially when blackened. Do you ever have blackened corn?
Oh,
there's a place in Irvine that I miss. Like, I used to work in Irvine, California, and like they have like a fish burrito with blackened corn in it, and it's like, oh god, I think it's mahi mahi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so good. I miss like SoCal a lot. I like a lot of the food and stuff.
You can come and visit soon.
Eventually, yeah. I got to wait a year, and then I think I'm done with planes. You know, I'm just like, fuck planes. You know, planes suck. But then again, it's like I'm like, how else could I get down there? And I was like, well, I could ride a train, and then it's like that's 18 hours, and I'm like, that is a long time. Whereas like one flight is just like a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like an hour.
But also fuck planes, you know.
Right.
Like,
it's a lonely drive. I made that drive round trip once to Frisco. That is a lonely drive. There comes a point where there's nothing. There's maybe 250 miles of absolute nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven it obviously because I got up to the Bay Area, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I wouldn't drive it, but a train, I like trains. I wish I could go by boat. Boat is my preferred traveling method.
Ooh.
I like boats. They're chill, you know, relaxed. You're just kind of looking out to sea, and you're just like, yeah. And then like they usually have a dining like area, and you just sit there and you hang out and you talk to some dude, and you're just like, what can I get you? And you're like, I'm gonna try this, and then you just hang out and chat, you know. Takes a while, but that's the way to travel.
Okay.
I don't mind trains either. Back when I lived in the UK, I used to go over to France, and you know, that was fun. I guess you can't do that now. I wonder what the law is, because we used to be part of the EU. England was, but now it's not. So there was no passports or anything to go from England to France, but now it technically there would be. So. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose. I want to do that. I took the train to some town that I can't pronounce, and it was fun. God, just going through like these cryptid forests. It was great. Like,
yeah, trains work better over there than they do here. It's like, you gotta change and walk 2 miles to a new one, and then get another one and another one and another one, where it's like, yeah, that sort of happens over there, but also you just can just travel, you know?
Right.
Like, you get a sleeping car.
Right.
It is really hard. Well, never mind. I was going back to my young days. See, back when I lived in the UK, when you would meet a woman that you're interested in courting, you would say, I'm trying to explain to my friend why meeting women on a train was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're traveling, you stink, you haven't showered in several days, you're traveling across, and
You're not at your best.
But I just remember, like, it just sounds so British in my head. You're just like, yeah, it's really hard to pull a bird on the train, and I remember the conversation, and I just remembered like talking to an American, like, so like maybe that doesn't. I don't know. It's weird all the lives that we lived. Anywho, welcome to Pitch Nerds. I just took some substance and it kicked in real fast.
Yes. Oh my goodness! After the show, he's going to be filming his 3rd episode of his Corn ASMR channel. So
yeah, no, I don't know. Anywho, what do we got going on today? We got the usual nerdy news. We don't have a lot. We're going to be discussing Capstone CNET, but I'm going to keep my weekly Kite Man update because I love that show, and then I saw Fall Guy. Holy fuck, did I love it? We're going to talk that. And then you saw
Romulus, Alien Romulus. We can talk a little bit of that.
Yep. And then we've got Bold Nerds, and then we got a Battle Nerds update, and then I was also thinking we should discuss. We're going to be doing evil protagonist pitches. We're going to save that for when Super Killer comes on because he really wants to do it with us. He just started a new job, so he's working at the moment. So
did you want to work on? I mean, we could, because I'd love to.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't we? Because I've already written mine, so why don't we just back burner that until he's available, and then we can come up with another pitch.
Yeah.
To work on in the meantime. So and then and then I got a brief rant, not very long, but I think it's a good point.
Okay.
Maybe I'll roll it into the news.
Okay.
But yeah, let's jump directly into the news. So Vincent D'Onofrio, aka Kingpin, apparently he is enjoying playing comic characters, and he says he's always wanted to play Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him as Swamp Thing. Did you ever watch the Swamp Thing movie way back in the day?
Yes, but don't ask me to quote or like recant anything from it. It's just that is a blur in history.
I remember it. I saw it a couple of times. I don't know if it was in the movie, but in the comic, he's got like a fruit on it, and he gives it to his girlfriend. She eats it, and then she has like an orgasm.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's how he like hooks up with the ladies. Is like, here, have an apple, you know.
Oh.
I don't know what that does for him, but I mean, you know.
Oh, he gets to pluck the fruit, my friend. Juice the loins.
He was who? I wonder who the actor was in that, because that dude was big in that suit. Like you could just see the musculature, you know. But yeah, that kind of had like Power Rangers vibes, if I remember right, with the monsters and everything. Or it might be slamming Guyver 2 Dark Hero with Swamp Thing.
Wasn't Mark Hamill in Guyver?
Huh?
Wasn't Mark Hamill in Guyver?
He was in the first one. The second one's better though. Yeah.
Speaking of the second one being better, can't wait for this week's Behold Nerds. Oh my goodness, I'm excited.
I am not. But yeah. The Guyver 2, that even though it's not, I cannot say it is a good movie. That is like the best bad movie in my opinion. And I have so much fun watching it. It's so good. The original Guyver also is pretty entertaining. It's just Guyver 2, they just went for it. They were like, yeah, let's have silly ass fucking Power Ranger physics. And I'm like, yeah. Why not? Yeah. Did you ever see the anime?
Did I see what?
The anime?
Briefly.
Yeah, Guyver the anime. That thing was like hard. That was like that old school anime style where like you know, the monster like grabs him and then just breaks their hands and like rips them off, and then there's blood going everywhere. That kind of gory 90s anime that you're like, yeah. Now everything's like, I died and I live in a different world, and it's kind of like D&D.
Oh, also saw Ghostbusters Afterlife, or was it Frozen Empire? Saw that too.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll throw that in.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm down with him playing Swamp Thing. I personally think the MCU. While I'm excited to see Doom, I'm a little bit odd. I'm still deciding where I am. I'm just gonna wait and see with Tony Stark.
If you don't have it included, some of the update they've shown some of the footage already of the Thing, and it is going to be classic Thing with like the brow and everything.
That's not what I was talking about, but the
no. But with the Fantastic Four movie, they're saying that that's going to be the origins of the Doctor Doom.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, but how if it's going to be a Stark or a Victor Von Doom? Hopefully they just treat it as a Victor Von Doom, and just
yeah, I don't know. It's still gonna be evil Stark. I mean, there's no other way you can see it. I mean,
right?
Because, but anyway, I think a cool way that I think what they should have done, because they had Kingpin, you have Vincent D'Onofrio, have him be the villain, and I know people say, but he's still Kingpin, you know? Like, it's like, is he too small? No, I don't think. And maybe sometimes small, as long as there's a threat to Earth,
right?
Really, what else do you need, you know?
Right.
I mean, yeah, like, you can keep going bigger and going multiverse, but not everything needs to be that, you know?
Yeah.
Good example, Dredd. You know, the movie Dredd. That had that like relatively small stakes, but that's one of my favorite comic book movies.
That was a great movie. That's another good Behold Nerds.
But anyway, I'd see him as Swamp Thing though. I'd watch that. Why not?
So really quick, did you see any of the Fantastic Four stuff that they dropped?
I didn't know that I just saw that they did something at some like stadium or something.
Yeah, so for D23, they had the first look at Fantastic Four. They did drop some more stuff. Maybe it was leaks. It was just footage, and they showed the Thing, and the Thing is actually in a suit. It's a dude in a suit, and they're like stuffing the prosthetic, the latex, the mask under the suit. It's just a big bulky dude. It's like the Thing in his spacesuit. It looked great. I'm sure they're going to CGI around it, but they gave him that signature brow line that the Thing has. Looks fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for FF. I mean, it's my favorite, but was my favorite comic as a kid. So I mean, I'm just again, I don't want to get my hopes up and have it turn out not to be great.
Yeah. Well, but, so they did come out and say that Franklin is going to be in it. Probably born during the movie. Because Galactus is going to be in the movie. They've already shown the art for it.
Yeah, I know.
He looks great. But yeah, we'll see. Because Franklin Richards, holy shit, you mentioned him several times.
You gotta do Galactus. You gotta do him as a vague cloud.
A space fart.
Yeah. Is there a big sky beam in the final?
Sky beam. Fuck sky beams.
Anywho, Robert Pattinson, or Pattinson as I like to say.
Cedric Diggory.
He's not going to appear in The Penguin.
So another Batman without Batman?
Yeah.
They gave us a new Batman. It's like, all right, we have this new Batman. Now let's have a Batman without a Batman.
I was talking to someone about the Gotham show because I guess they watched it, and I said I don't see why, because I already know what's happening with all these characters. You know,
right?
Like I know Commissioner Gordon's not gonna do his thing. He's gonna fail, and and then I know that Bruce Wayne's gonna become Batman. Anytime they introduce a villain, I know that who he's gonna be.
Right.
You know, I know their story, and then the person I was talking to, the little same as said true House of Dragons. I'm like, not really, because that's like 100 or something years beforehand.
Right.
I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know what's happening with them. I know in 100 years what's going to happen.
Right. We know Anakin is going to turn into Vader. We know the ship is going to hit the iceberg. People.
Yeah. But there's a difference between like knowing like something like that, like what's going to happen to Commissioner Gordon, to like 100 years ago, who's this person, you know, like, and that to me is the difference. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't even need to be Batman. If someone said I was gonna do I mean, I would choose a different city, but let's say you did Gotham,
Do Bloodhaven.
but it was Azrael, you know,
that'd be
or
cool.
Nightwing,
Right.
or somebody like that. You just need that. You know what I mean? You could even pull it off.
Have a Bloodhaven show with Nightwing. I think that'd be great.
You could do like Bane the series.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem with Gotham is it's the same problem I had with Agents of Shield. Like I watched a little bit of it, but ultimately it's like, yeah, we're gonna give you the superhero stuff minus superheroes. You know, we're gonna give you
Here's all the
minus-
D-listers.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, and I know they put it in and everything, but still, like that's the vibe of the show. You know.
Yeah.
But also speaking of the Batman, oh yeah, so this is actually in regards to that. So apparently this is a direct quote. So Matt's films are through the lens of the Batman. So you're high up looking down on the city. With Oz, you're in the city streets. You're in the grid. It's a different experience.
Okay.
So that's why he's not going to be in it.
Okay.
I don't know. I still think you could just see Batman from Penguin's perspective, you know?
Right.
Like, have Batman almost be the antagonist for the series. I saw this story and it made me think of you because I knew you'd get a kick out of it. John Stamos apparently got kicked out of Scientology after his first meeting when he was a teen. Yeah, direct quote, "You're holding these two cans, so I started, hello, Peabody and the Wayback Machine?" Sherman and Peabody? Yeah, they didn't like that. Yeah, apparently John Stamos could not be in that thing.
I think John
did anyone
Stamos...
else from, did anybody else from that thing join Scientology from the Full House universe?
I don't think so, but...
Well, the only real controversy they had was what's her name?
the twins.
I guess they had controversies too. I was thinking of the more recent one with the lady that played Rebecca.
With the college tuition thing.
The college tuition thing, yeah.
Yeah. So it was funny watching the new one because they openly poked fun at the Olsen twins for just
not showing up. Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Their sister's doing well off. She's got Marvel money. That's fantastic.
Which one?
Scarlet Witch. Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh yeah,
she's their younger sister.
I was thinking the show canon, so I was like, "You mean Jodie Sweetin's character?"
No.
You know, and I was like, I did think it was funny how they changed them into the previous. Like she was supposed to be Uncle Jesse. I was also interested because they made a lot of boob jokes with her. It got enhanced,
Right.
but Candace Cameron was on it, and wasn't she very religious or something like that? And so I was like, I thought she went the whole Kirk Cameron route and went all
all woo woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I swear I've seen her been talking about it, and she used to say, "Oh my Lanta." Actually, I used to work with a girl that would say that too. I never asked about why are you saying my Lanta? What is that?
oh, it's instead of "Oh my Lord"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's
I guess. Is that what religious people do instead?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
when you're hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent some time living in Utah, and they would say, "Oh my heck."
So there was a lady I don't know if she was a counselor or something, just a human at school. She would just say truck, truck, but she said it a lot, like truck. So
right, instead of the F-bomb.
Yeah, she said truck a lot, an eerie amount. I only met her directly engaged with her a couple times, and that was the first thing that stood out. It was the only thing that stood out was, God, you see this lady who says truck all the time? It's she really means fuck. It's oh, it's the weirdest thing. What are you doing? It's like a Tourette. So, yeah. So, I think John Stamos grew up in Orange County, and I remember my mom at one point back in the 80s, I don't know how, ended up like talking to him on the phone, and she recalls him being a very cool dude.
That dude like aged magnificently.
God, he's
like,
a sexy motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, and he just like still is. Anywho, George R. Martin. This is weird to me. I don't fully get this. George
He
R.
has
Martin,
not aged well.
No, but he plans to write a blog post about everything that went wrong with House of Dragons.
Oh.
I do not look forward to other posts I need to write about everything that's gone wrong with House of Dragons. But I need to do that, and I will. But, like, that show's been pretty good. I mean,
It's been
apart from,
solid.
like you said, like, the ending of the season not being, like, the big bang that you wanted.
Yeah.
It's a solid show. I'm interested to know what he thinks what's going wrong with it. I did see an interview with him where he's talking to Stephen King, and he's like, "How do you write so much?" And then he's like, "I'll do like 3 months, and I'll think like, wow, that was a constructive 3 months, and in that time you've written 6 books."
Right.
And then like Stephen King's like, "Well, I try and write 6 good pages every day." And he's like, "And you get that?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And then I saw this thing someone was talking about, and they were like, "No controversies, no issues, none of this." Like, it's just picture George R. Martin like listening how he's like totally like a perfectly fine person, like, and just a lazy bastard.
I mean, it's hard.
mean-
I get it. It's hard sometimes. It hurts the brain. People want
If
more.
you're that rich, I mean, I don't know. If I was as rich as him, I would
Just come out with content always. Like, just lock yourself in your ideal climate and just produce.
I just like working out is hard and eating healthy is hard, but when you're rich, it becomes a lot easier because you can eat delicious, healthy food because you can like
Afford
hire
it.
a chef.
Right.
Yeah, and then you can, and they'll like plan it for you for like so all guesswork is taken out of your eating. And then you can hire a personal trainer, and yeah, I don't know. I'm always surprised. I guess different goals and stuff, but it seems like I get that it still work, but it seems like it would be easier to do that kind of stuff if you have that kind of money.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, I think House of Dragons is good. I don't know what he thinks. I'd be interested. He's got a blog called Not a Blog or something.
No,
like that.
he's mentioned before the different types of dragons that they use. That he uses a specific type of dragons with like the 2 back legs and the winged arms, and they have like the 4. So he's splitting. I'm not gonna poo-poo him. It's his universe, and he's seeing it being like done incorrectly. So good on him for setting the record straight, I guess.
I guess I would be fine with it. I'd be like, I don't care. I'd be like, oh, I'm really sad. Then I'd take up my money and everything.
Chef. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I always say I'm a sellout. I just got nothing to sell out to yet. 2025 in July is going to be an interesting month. Have you heard about this? We get 3 big potentially blockbusters coming out all in the month of July.
Oh.
Jurassic World Rebirth, which I'm actually interested in seeing because, like, apparently, like, I can't remember the guy behind it is someone like the team behind it. When I was reading some of the details, I was like, oh, they might be able to pull this off. But then we also get Superman on July 11th.
Oh yeah.
And then we get Fantastic Four on July 25th.
Oh yeah.
So the 2nd, the 11th, and the 25th, one of them. So which one, taking bets, which one's going to bomb? Because they can't all do well.
So if I were to... I think Jurassic Park is going to be the weakest of the 3.
Okay.
My thought. Honest thought.
I think all 3 of them could be fine, but I just
I think all 3 of them
gonna
can be.
bomb,
If one of them's going to bomb, I give it to Jurassic Park. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about that one. Yeah,
Yeah, like
It's weird too because I remember as a kid when Jurassic Park came out, like
That was a
great.
global
Yeah.
thing. My God, oof, God, like hadn't seen special effects like that before. Animatronics like that before. Like that was
Yeah, the dinosaur looks so fucking good when you see
right.
that T-Rex and stuff.
Rexy, so apparently the
Um,
part where it fell through the glass that wasn't staged. That was actually the
Boss
Muppet
just came in.
falling through the thing, and that's their actual reaction of the kids thinking that they're gonna die.
I still like well, I don't like it, but the drowning kid from the Ewoks, the last movie we
Oh,
watched. I was like, I'm pretty sure that kid's actually drowning. His like whole body was red. And he's like,
God, God.
they're like, good, good, yeah, let's go with that. Good. Oh man, this movie's gonna suck. But we're getting a performance of a lifetime out of this kid.
Oh, good thing they brought him back in the sequel.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so yeah, I think that'll be an interesting month. Oh, so this comes out very soon. I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if Cap will or not because he doesn't watch stuff anymore because he's too cool.
Not too cool.
But Agatha All Along comes out on September 18th. I hope he watches this movie
No.
because we all started with this all Pitch Nerd started with WandaVision.
Yeah.
And I feel like Agatha All Along is kind of the WandaVision sequel in some ways.
Yeah, it is the spiritual successor. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna check it out. But September 18th comes out on Disney Plus, so
Okay.
that sounds like fun.
I know Mrs. Cap wants to watch it, so we'll definitely be watching.
Yeah. And you killed the dog too.
Yeah.
Poor dog.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know. Will it be good? Will it not be good? I don't know. I have no prediction. It kind of feels Wizard of Ozzy. I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. Why not? I got nothing else going on. Apparently, Gen Z wants less sex in movies. According to a new study of 10 to 24-year-olds found that 47% said that sex isn't needed for most TV shows and movies, while 44% believed romance is overused. Now, I do have to put this in because Twitter felt this very important, and I can see why after reading it. It says, on this study, questions about sex in movies or series were only asked of people 13 to 24. The 10 to 13-year-olds were only asked questions about romance in traditional media, movies, and series. So they didn't ask, they weren't being like, hey, do you guys want to see a bunch of sex in movies, 10-year-olds? Right. They waited until they were at least 13. But, yeah, so apparently they want less of it. I mean, I don't know. Like,
when you say no sex, does that mean no nudity?
I don't know. I mean, look, I don't care about sex in mainstream movies. Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah. Especially when it's forced, like contrived.
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, even nudity isn't that important to me. Like, it depends if it's
Natalie Dormer.
like okay, Cersei Lannister.
Right.
Walking back to the thing with
the shame walk, right?
Yeah, like that felt appropriate to me, and it fit the scene. But like, and I mean, I'll even defend it to a degree. I get that it's pointless, but in Star Trek, when they turn around, she was in her underwear, but she was like, "What?" And it was like that sexy.
Oh, that yeah.
I don't really care because I can accept that stuff like exists just because. People that shun that, I just think like, yeah, but sexuality is a part of life. Art mirrors life. Right. I don't have a problem with it, but I mean, I think it's better when it works like Cersei. You know what I mean? Where it enhances the scene.
Right.
And so as far as pointless sex, pointless nudity, yeah, what's the point? Sex, almost, I don't care about. You're not gonna do it unless you're doing something really unique, like the scene in we just watched it, the sequel to Runner. Come on.
Oh,
With the AI girl.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner 2049. Yeah.
Right.
The sex scene in that was a beautifully shot scene because they had the two women and everything like that, like, and they were kind of overlaid on. So to me, that was a cool shot. But even that, they kind of skipped over the actual sex act.
Right.
And that's what I mean. Like, yeah, use it to enhance. Don't use it if you can.
Or like, I mean, let's take another approach, like Total Recall, where you had the gratuitous third boob. Now, it wasn't necessary, but they were mutants.
Comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you saw that guy when he's grabbing the feel, he takes an extra squeeze before you see it. He gets an extra squeeze in there. You watch that shit. It's gratuitous.
Yeah. Anyway. You know that isn't a guy's penis in the end of Teen Wolf?
Yeah, he's tucking in his shirt or something.
Yeah, it's a woman too. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with Gen Z.
Yeah.
But romance, though, I mean, it depends on the movie. Sometimes romance totally works. Sometimes not so much.
Yeah.
You know, it depends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to talk about Fall Guy later. That's got romance in it, and it was one of the better aspects of the movie, you know?
And one of my favorite movies of all time, RoboCop, has no romance in it. So, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not, I don't think romance is overused. I mean, I guess it is overused. Because if it's not needed, it's not needed, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, if it informs it, yeah, I guess that's my overall point. Inform the story with these elements.
Right.
Don't insert the elements for no reason.
Right. This isn't Porky's.
Yeah. But see, in Porky's, I mean, there's no way you could make that movie today.
No.
But the point of that movie was this exploitation.
I know.
We've been speaking a lot about the Batmans, but the Batman is being re-released with a Penguin teaser, and as part of the re-release in theaters, it's also, because you've been talking about these a lot, it's got a new popcorn bucket.
Oh,
have you seen it?
Well, popcorn teaser is what I call, or Penguin teaser is what I call my foreplay, but
in the popcorn bucket?
No, I have not. What's the popcorn bucket?
Oh, you dig it. It's a bat symbol, and it, like, works.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like sort of. I mean, it doesn't shine into the sky, and you're not summoning Batman with it.
Damn.
But you can press a button, and it lights up.
That's cool.
And it looks like a bat symbol, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like a cool popcorn bucket. I mean, are you collecting these? I feel
so.
Like
I don't. God, I have no room for nonsense like that anymore. But I do have.
When does this become a thing?
So
what
I do have is when I went to go see Romulus last week, they had a not a popcorn bucket, but a just a plastic cup with like the straw on it, and it's cool. It's one of those with like the liquid inside, so when you shake it, it looks like it's a liquid. So it's black with the xenomorph head, and then you shake it, it's like the green acid.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my favorite of the popcorn buckets because it doesn't even look like a popcorn bucket. It just looks like you got a cool bat symbol.
Here, I'm gonna.
But
Batman.
I don't know. I like the fact that this has become like how theaters are trying to get people in. Now it's like we'll release.
Holy shit! It is, for God, it's the bat light.
Yeah.
It's the actual. Cool. Wow. All right, here's one that's the cowl. That's terrifying. Yeah, the AMC bat signal. There it is.
Yeah, that looks cool. It's like
that's badass.
Yeah. I like the alien one too. I mean, I'm starting to kind of get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what though?
I've heard like what's with all these popcorn buckets, but fun to own.
It's a fun way to get people to keep going back to the movies, right? You have a corresponding popcorn bucket. So, God, what do you think the Superman bucket's going to be? What do you think the Jurassic Park bucket's going to be? What do you think the Fantastic Four? Oh, the Fantastic Four bucket is going to be either the Thing's head or the Fantastic Car. The Fantastic Car.
Okay.
That'd
All
be
right,
fun.
well, let's think about this for the Fantastic Four bucket.
Right.
I would do. I
Fantastic.
like the idea of doing the thing, but I don't want his head. I just want a giant thing hand
Okay.
holding a popcorn bucket, and I can put my hand in there, and I go, and then it's like I have a thing arm.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Superman.
The symbol.
It's really going to depend what they're going to do with Superman.
The easiest, I think, would just be the symbol. The symbol.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean, that's too easy. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
It's suit. It's just, and then they just pour popcorn like without the guy, not Cavill, but without the person in it. It's just like this, like
It's just,
stumpy little person in the suit with a little cape coming down, and then it's the neck is
Okay.
empty for the popcorn in there.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
just,
and then you got like your own little Superman.
it's like a Superman torso.
yeah.
There you go.
But the whole thing, like down to the feet and everything, is. I don't know. It's the best I come up. I'll work on that. I don't know, unless you got something.
Maybe like a kryptonite shard or something. Is that like
Yeah, I
a
thought
like a thing?
kryptonite
Something
too,
like
yeah.
that, maybe. But that could be too much, too bad.
Yeah.
So again, outside of the symbol, my goodness. Oh, the pod he came to he crash landed on Earth on. There's an easy one. The Daily Planet. You can just have the giant globe.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then you can open it.
Yeah, there you go.
And then-
James Gunn, if you're listening, hey, we're the Pitch Nerds.
Oh, yeah, AMC.
Right.
We're willing to consult on our popcorn bucket ideas.
And Jurassic Park. What are we doing? T-Rex
Jurassic
head.
Park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
T-Rex head, raptor head.
that like yeah, where it's like you reach in and
Yeah.
like when you like there's a button you press and the mouth opens.
Yep. Foam teeth. Yeah.
Anyway, a better idea. There's no way they do this, but have it be like a dinosaur, but like follow in the vein of the what is the Dune one, and just make it its butthole that you reach into. Like have those little like
The fingers.
Yeah.
Little rubber fingers.
Anyway, Quentin Tarantino says that the Toy Story trilogy is so perfect that he refuses to watch Toy Story 4. Direct quote, "The third one is one of the best movies I have ever seen. I have no desire to see the fourth one. You ended the story as perfect as you could, so I don't care if it's good. I'm done."
I respect that. I respect the fuck out of that. No one to stop. No one to stop. Yeah. Because it is.
I agree.
I would say so.
I don't even remember Toy Story.
There are certain trilogies that I will call perfect. I don't think Star Wars is perfect. It's close to perfect, but it's not perfect. Back to the Future is perfect. Toy Story is perfect. Toy Story is absolutely perfect. God, what's another trilogy that's perfect? Say Alien. Alien doesn't count. I say Indian. Anyways.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is perfect.
The extended cut, anyway.
Yeah, I only watch the extended cut. I can't watch the theatrical cut. But no, he's absolutely right. God, it is probably the perfect trilogy. Now that you said it, and I'm thinking about it.
I don't remember it that well. I never was that huge on Toy Story.
God, that movie will make you feel alive again. Ooh, that'll make a great behold, nerds. We should watch
I guess. I mean, I don't hate it. I was just kind of like, all right. Toys. I mean, I used to pretend my toys were alive when I like wasn't around and stuff.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Sid. I mean, he was clearly a creative kid making his own toys and like, piecing them together and everything. And then like, yeah, they crushed him. I mean, yeah, he also had issues. There was something like implied like something like with his family or something
Right.
like that. I don't know. Now, Aunt Cass is from Big Hero 6, right? Well, that's the one that the internet got really creepy with.
Really? I saw that movie once. It was fine, and I'm done with it.
Oh, I like Big Hero 6 a lot. I think the movie's great. But I'm talking about the Aunt Cass character.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shot where she's like,
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Yeah, they like drew her boobs extra big, and then that's actually replaced the memory of the character to the point where like they showed her in something else, and they were like, "Put her boobs back," and people started freaking out, and they're like, "That wasn't real."
It's the Mandela effect in real time.
There's an SNL skit where it's like all the Pixar moms meeting, and then like one of them stands up and like knocks over a bunch of shit with her ass, and then they all stand up and they all got like just dump truck butts. And like...
Yo, Mrs. Incredible be thick. Yo, she got them thigh. My God, you see them thighs? My goodness.
I don't get.
Oh my
like,
gosh, she's like a ooh yeah.
Why they all draw them like that? But, and anyway, so that's all I got in nerdy news. You got anything?
Sierra mentioned Fantastic Four. No, I think that was.
Oh, I do have one. This is my rant, but
Let's
it
hear
ties in. We've been talking about House of Dragons.
Mhm.
So I was sitting there the other day thinking about House of Dragons. Why would you ever want to be king? Let's say you live in this world, right?
Mm.
You're some Targaryen. You got your dragon, whatever your dragon's called,
Right.
and you're like, yeah, this is good.
Mhm.
And then and then someone's like, oh, like I'm gonna be the Lord of the Thrones and stuff, and you're just like, I'd be like, cool. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't want to do it. What are you talking about? I'm going to live on some nice estate somewhere.
Right.
And I'm going to just forget all of this. And if war breaks out between my siblings and all of this, and, and the red house and the green house, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to walk up to the people I care about, say, look, I love you very much. Peace. Hop on my dragon, fly to some foreign country that's preferably got a nice climate, maybe somewhere beach-like, and then I'm gonna hang out.
Go to Dorne. Fly to Dorne.
Like old
Dornish
school,
wine.
like margaritas on the beach, next to my dragon pal, who for some reason in my brain is wearing giant sunglasses now. And we're just like, and that's what we're gonna do all day, I mean, I'm not gonna get my dick boiled off because my dickhead brother came flying in,
Right.
while the other chick like murdered my dragon. I mean, not that I would be that guy anyway, but none of that.
Right.
I don't want to be king. I mean, I don't want to have some child that gets his head sawed off in the middle of the night. I mean, yeah, it's too dark.
Yeah.
Like George R. Martin's right, and then he goes, and then there's the tale of Frosty the Wise. He looked at all this and said, "Nope." I get that it doesn't make a good show, though. I don't know.
I would follow that. Just chill with.
Hang out on the beach with my dragon.
It's like a boy and his dog, but with a fucking dragon. It's like Pete's dragon, but in Game of Thrones. There you go.
Then, like my dragon, I'm out walking, then he runs up to some girl, and I'm like, whoa, sorry about that. Yeah, like that's my dragon, and then he like pushes me into her, and like, hey, he's my wing dragon, I used to have a wing cat.
No, you.
My old cat. He was like pagan. Like anytime, like I would like come home with someone like I've been on a date with, he would like just turn into the most affectionate cat. He'd walk over to her and be all, rub himself against her. And then he'd come walking over to me, and then he'd do that to me. Mm-hmm. He'd be like, you just see him be like, Frosty's a great guy, He was a good cat.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, that's my round on why be king. What would you do if you're in that situation?
You know what? I never thought about it, but I like that. Just you have a big dragon and like family money. Just fuck off. Fuck all of you. Bye.
Yeah, like
Bye.
why would you want to be a part of any of that? Like, would you
Right.
even want the job?
No.
I mean,
My God.
yeah.
Like, what more power do you need? God, just fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off anywhere.
As soon as you have the
Make
status
friends.
of dragon rider, you're pretty much made.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, and it's way better. I've often thought this, even in reality. Like, if you grew up in those things, it's way better to be like not the king, to be like third in line or something, because
Yeah.
then you're just some wealthy noble on an estate somewhere.
Right.
You know, like if you're king, you have to like do shit, and then like people cut off your head when shit goes bad.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
One day we gotta watch Kunk on Earth. It's the best show.
Kunk on Earth.
It's so funny. It's this British lady, and it's done as a BBC documentary.
Okay.
But she's just really bored the whole time, and just the stuff that she's saying is just hilarious. She's talking about like Lincoln in one, and then she was like, yes, and then like she's talking about the Civil War. She's like, and then they won, and then she goes, unfortunately, to celebrate, or no, that they decided to torture Lincoln with theater. Fortunately, he was killed by a kindly passing gunman who decided to take him out of his misery. And like she makes fun of theater so many times.
That's
and then
funny.
every once in a while in the episode, Pump Up the Jam will come on. So it's like blah blah blah, like the 1970 hit Pump Up the Jam, and then it goes on for way longer than it should. Well, fake facts about it start popping up. It's the weirdest show. It's so
The
good.
British humor.
Anywho.
Anywho.
Do you want to jump into some reviews?
Yeah. So
Okay, well, so you said you saw not Prometheus.
Romulus. Alien Romulus.
Romulus. Okay, so tell us, what rating do you give it, and should we like it? What did you like about it?
Yeah. So rating off the bat is shut up and take
Somewhat spoiler free. I'm okay with
Yeah.
some spoilers, but
It's a shut up and take my money, but
okay, should you see? I've heard that it's almost worth going back and rewatching Prometheus beforehand, because Prometheus ties into a lot of this, but the one in the middle is less important.
so
I haven't seen it. The last Alien movie I saw was Prometheus.
okay. So it ties in everything. Here's stuff that happened from Alien, stuff that will happen in Aliens. Oh, and Prometheus is a part of this universe too. Don't forget Prometheus. They remind you that at the end. A lot of people complained about the end of the movie. If you're going to try to tie everything in, I thought it was fine. My
saw Sigourney Weaver. Someone asked her if she would come back, and she said she'd be open to it, but at the same time, she thinks Ripley's earned her rest.
yeah, let her
And
be.
I agree with that too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what this movie does really well is set the atmosphere and the tone of the Alien universe. It has those really just those long, just space shots, and just really just the visuals are absolutely gorgeous. I mentioned this in the group chat. The favorite character is Andy, who's the artificial human, the synth. He is programmed with the essence of a child because he's sort of the older brother protector of the main protagonist, and they're on this Weyland-Yutani mining world, and you sort of get to see the day-to-day life of this mining colony who's just
Full of milk.
right. And
I'm asking, is he full of milk?
Oh, of course he is.
That's
Of
what
course
I
he
always think of the androids. And that.
yeah, just gushing milk.
Yeah.
He is full of milk. So what annoys me, what annoyed me about this movie were the callbacks. Aliens should need callbacks. So everything. What are two of the most iconic lines in the Alien franchise? Go.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Yes.
What's another one? I don't know.
Game over, man. Game over.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
I was thinking, it's got to be one from when the chest burster first came out. I saw a weird comic where this guy, like, the chest burster refused to come out, so it shows him on a date, and he's got like this partially formed alien, he's got it stuck inside him still. And then, like, he's on the date, and he says, like, the girl sat across from him, like, tattoos are a deal breaker, I'm afraid.
Oh.
And, like, that was like the whole cartoon. I have no idea what it was.
So it had those two lines in this movie, and why were those in there? It was to tickle that, haha, there's the callback, and that sucked me out of the movie every time it happened. Because it's unnecessary. Like, let the movie stand on its own without having to call back to things like that. Like, lines that are so iconic, you just don't need to tell them differently. It's just obnoxious. Stop it. Like, you didn't need to do that. However, it did have some of the better, I would say, like, face hugger moments. It'd make you squeamish, I promise you.
They are the scariest monster in all of horror, in my opinion. One of them. I mean, I can't think of another one that's worse, actually.
No,
you know who I don't like as well, because I hate genital mutilation. Like, that's an ick for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God, I forget what the movie was called, but there's this movie.
The STD movie.
No, it's.
Is it the man-eating vagina?
No.
I've seen that one.
It's nothing that bad. It was this movie where it was, I can't even remember what the movie was called. It was an action movie, kind of set in like Greece or something. And the first bad guy is so badly beaten by the hero, he wants revenge, so he tries to join the main bad guy's army. And the main bad guy, like, he has him sit with his legs open, and then he crushes his genitals with his mallet. And then and he says, like, no, the sound that you hear when this happens is your generations of people coming for you weeping because you were the last of their kind, and stuff like that. And it was just, it was crazy. And then and then also, I've often thought this, how horrible it would be. They have the bull. Have you ever heard of that torture method? The bull.
Yep.
Yeah, they put you in a bull.
In the bowl, and they light it on fire at the. Yep. And
then,
the sound of you screaming comes out the.
Yeah, like his whistles. It's horrible. But yeah.
Yeah, people had fun ways of killing each other back then. Good for them.
Yeah, but anywho, the face huggers are up there. Horrible.
So another thing that they did was they sped up the process of the xenomorph, the life cycle of the xenomorph. So they set up early on that we're on the station, it's going to crash soon. Go. There's your time. We have 45 minutes to go in, go out, do this thing, boom. So what's cool is that it did a really good job at building, like, adding to the mythos of the universe, where it takes time to travel places. So they have a way off the planet, but they don't have the cryo fuel to put them in stasis for, like, the 9 light-year journey. So they need to get cryo fuel from the space station. That's a cool fucking premise. That's a cool premise. God damn it, Frosty, that is a good premise. So that's what I'm saying. It felt alien. It was great. It had some of a really great acid death. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, it was just the callbacks, and even the last fight. It didn't feel grand enough. I don't know. It felt a little underwhelming, and it tried too hard to recapture. Like when Ripley exited the elevator, and there's that iconic shot with her and the pulse rifle. Oh, there's that same iconic shot again. Stop it. Just stop it.
Okay. I'm okay with callbacks, but I don't know. It depends.
It depends on the callback. Like, if it's something that's so iconic, like, you don't need to call back to Game Over, man. You don't need to call back to Get Away from Her, you bitch. Like,
I think like a shot though. I mean, a shot is a cool way of doing it.
Yeah, yes, but it sucked me up. Anyways, it's still a shut up and take my money because it did do a lot right. Andy was phenomenal. That character, love it. Had some cool zero gravity moments. Haven't really seen that before. It felt kind of Dead Spacey in some moments. It was cool. But yeah, they sped up the cycle of the xenomorph, so everything happened really quick, and I didn't like that because after the first one, it was like a couple days before this guy did the thing. Or it was
supposedly
it was like a day or so.
it's good. Speaking of xenomorphs, I saw I'm seeing a lot of positive reviews for a recent comic, which is Alien vs Avengers.
Oh,
Everybody's saying that's really good. I'm interested to see that.
I feel like Tony Stark can defeat them all with just a robot army while he's just chilling in his penthouse.
Yeah, they usually come up. These things are pretty clever, though. I have to admit, they're. It's like when we do. You can say stuff like that, but like we've
Right.
proved in Battle Nerds, like you just have to get creative.
Yeah.
And I think they do a good job of that. Like TMNT versus meets
Batman. That was great.
or JLA meets fucking Power Rangers, or the crossover with Godzilla and King Kong and stuff, and then like because you have like iconic moments for like Godzilla, like nuclear breath Superman, and then like, oh my god, Superman is dead, and then you're like, oh, what, that makes no sense, and then they're like, well, actually, you see, the kind of damage that
Godzilla does.
yeah, the Godzilla's nuclear breath is in the gamma spectrum, and it's almost identical to that of kryptonite.
Oh.
So his breath weapon was actually perfectly, like somehow magically designed to be the perfect anti-Superman weapon, and you're like, damn it, stop making sense enough in the world of comics. It's like when they did the Old Man Logan. You're like, this makes damn it, they pulled it off.
Right. Yeah, so it's still a shut up and take my money. You saw. What did you see?
But is it tied to the engineers and stuff? Because like,
Yeah, so
they did all that.
it brought up the black goo. So the black goo, they were studying on the space station this black goo. They retrieved the alien that Ripley had blown out from the Nostromo. They recovered that, and they started doing all this research aboard the station, which hilarity ensued.
That's what it does, yeah.
As it does, and the goo is able to like revitalize like cells to make, so they're trying to splice the goo with the xenomorphs and shit, but there's yeah that's the most Prometheus that they inserted. They didn't mention the engineers, they just mentioned the black goo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, that sounds interesting. I'll check it out when it comes to digital, probably.
Oh, the face
Well,
huggers.
I feel like I should watch the last one as well now. Anyway, so another episode of Kite Man. Hell yeah! We had Just Right. Hell yeah. So it's picking up where the show left off. I mean, it's still following the anti-life equation. Glider ends up being able to master. It's kind of a mirror of last week's episode, because last week it was all about Kite Man finally getting a power and becoming beast mode, and because he got the douche power. And so, because we've been watching Glider and she's not been able to control her power, she gets the anti-life equation now she can control, but it's made her kind of evil as well. And so, like, she's thinking about killing Kite Man and stuff like that. So yeah, it was an interesting mix. You still got the villain characters in the background. There's like a B story with Bane, and also a lot of it's been following the Queen of Fables.
Okay.
And so, like, yeah, she accidentally lets Goldilocks out of her book. And so it's about her hanging out with Bane, and I don't know, it's fine. That's
cool. Goldilocks.
More Bane is always great. He goes to give a plan because he thinks Lex wants him to join up. And so he has his like 10-point explosion plan and everything, and then Goldilocks is with him, but everything is like, it's like, do you want a milkshake? And she's like, this milkshake is too cold. And then this milkshake is too hot. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a milkshake. How is it hot? And like, so she did that with everything. And
That's
but
great.
then Bane's like, no, she just knows what she likes, and I will not stand for this. And like, and then she's like, Mr. Bane, you're just right. And then, like, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's great.
So it's good. It's good. Good B story. And then yeah, and excellent action scenes as always. That's one thing they always do really well is their action scenes. Yeah, because we had Glider unleashing and fighting all of the robots and stuff like that. So still following the anti-life equation. We got 2 more episodes after this. I'm excited to see how they finish out the show. It's not my favorite show, but man, it's just such a fun little thing to watch on Thursday.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's just like a nice little break.
I promise you, I will binge it up until the finale. I will binge it all.
Ooh, also, so I saw Fall Guy.
Yeah, Fall Guy.
'Cause I saw it was on Peacock. And I remember hearing about this movie. I remember thinking I would like to see that movie, and I remember people going like, "Wow, this movie is really good. It sucks that it's not doing well." And then I watched it and I thought, "Wow, this movie was amazing. Why didn't it do well? It's such a good movie. It's a movie about stuntmen."
Okay.
Hence the title. So it's a movie about a specific stuntman and how stuntmen they're the unsung heroes, you know, the ones they take the falls, but you don't know who they are and stuff. And he's a stuntman. And it's an action movie. It's meta. They're making a movie called Metal Storm. It's Rebel Moon, dude. They're making like a parody Rebel Moon basically in the movie. Nice. And at the same time it's a story like the main actor, he's missing. So the stunt guy, he goes to like try and find him because it's complicated, but he's got a relationship with Emily Blunt, and if that actor falls out, then her movie's not gonna get made. And it's great. Like he gets drugged up in the beginning, and it's just, and then like he has this crazy drugged up action fight scene where he's seeing unicorns and stuff. The unicorn's like, "Hey, hurry!" And then he's like riding a little scooter is what he's actually riding. And yeah, and then like later in the movie, like the action scenes are so good. Like he goes up to this dog and he's like, "Oh, Jean-Claude," and then like the dog's like, "It's like, yeah, I worked with him. Yeah, he's a great stunt dog and all this." And then like they get like tasered later, like as they're dropping the dog off to the dog park.
Okay.
And like and they grab the assistant lady and they start taking her, and then he gets up and he's what? And he's like, Jean-Claude, and then like the dog's like, da-da-da-da-da, and then it's like an action scene where they're running and he's got the dog with him now. It's so good. It doesn't take itself too serious, but it's also brilliant. And then he's supposed to get to karaoke because he wants to prove to the girl, because there's this whole brilliant love, like romance between Emily Blunt. And that's what I'm saying. It was so well done. And like she's singing like "Take a Look at Me Now," and like meanwhile he's like having this fight, and again it's all about stunts. So like they're driving a rig with like one of those big like claw things or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's punching a guy out in that as it's spinning down the street, and she's singing karaoke inside. You see him go by, and like, and the dog's like biting people in the balls, and like, and it's great. And then like, and he's like, "Yeah, I love working with you, man." And like, because it's stunt dog, and like. And yeah, and there's like this big scene where like all these like mercenaries are like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" But then like guys like, "Stunt team, go!" And like all the stunt people come in, and it's so good. It's like she calls him, she's like, "Oh, what do you think about split screens? Like, do you think they're cheesier?" And then it's like, "Voomp." And like she's like, "I don't know. I think it like." shows the distance between the characters, but like they're doing the same thing. And then he's like, I don't think there's that much distance between them. And she's like, no, and I think that's why it would work, because like he wants to be with her. So it's like everything is layered, you know, and the way they use music. I seriously might be my favorite 2024 movie. Watch this movie.
Okay.
It's brilliant. Shut up and take my money. 100%. It's hilarious. It's meta. The action scenes are great. I mean, I just cannot sing it enough. And then like every time they show the movie they're making, it's so weird because it's like Death Stars and stuff on a planet of like a desert planet, and then he's a cowboy, she's an alien, and like, it's so good.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
It's on Peacock right now. It's the extended cut. I did notice there was a couple of non-perfect special effects things, and I think it might have just been an aspect ratio. Some of the cars looked a little squished in one scene.
Okay.
But besides that, it was great. The awesome fight scene where he's high. They use like visual like stuff like color, like because he's in like a nightclub, and then it goes in, and his like suit is glowing yellow, and every time he punches someone, it's like bling, and like because like all the drugs and stuff. It's so cool.
That's cool.
Anyway, so yeah, check that out. Shut up, take my money. Shut up, take my money for Kite Man. Let's jump into Battle Nerds, and we'll jump into Behold Nerds.
Yeah.
So Battle Nerds announcements about that. So describe the show.
Yeah, so Battle Nerds, this would be our segment where we random roll from a list of 100 predetermined characters to pit them against each other in a battle to the death. Now, I had a weird thought yesterday when I was at work, because Superman is one of the top contenders, Rogue is one of the top contenders, and I had this thought, didn't Superman lose to Spock? Because I'm thinking about it, because I thought about it 1,000 times. So
before we jump into that, last week's winner
yes,
was we had Rogue versus Iron Man, with the majority of the Rogue comes out on top.
God, Rogue destroy.
And then now, like as you're saying, Cap looked it up. I mean, Cap was like, didn't Rogue fight? I mean, Superman fight Spock. I looked up our old Twitter things, and yeah, it turns out she did. I just forgot to delete it. So we were discussing, well, do we just still do the final fight? But it's like really, I mean, Rogue's won every fight,
right?
Which she's been in. She's never lost. Superman was fighting illegally, but you could argue it could have just rolled that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we would have still had the same results. So yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. Like Rogue is our champion, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So she won. I mean, 9 fights. She was our first. She's our Marine as well. First and last out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First fight against Poison Ivy, and then Lice. So she went in with a comic fight and came out with a comic fight.
Yeah.
What did you think? Like, what's your favorite Rogue fight that we did?
So, think about Rogue. So I know every comic book character, if they're around long enough, will have like the power cosmic at some point. But just Brawler Rogue, I think the one was she fighting Megatron or something, or just a giant fighting robot, and just. And this was after we just watched X-Men 97, and she's just smashing at Sentinels, and it was after Gambit died, and she just takes out that entire base, and she's just angry. She's not gonna. She's gonna punch her way through everything, because that's how Rogue does it. That's sort of what I like about her. But anyways, I
liked her versus Ron Swanson.
Oh,
I thought that one was fun.
I forgot about that one.
We were like
drinking contest.
Yeah, I can't do it. I think I was defending Ron Swanson. I still think he could have gotten higher up in there, but it was still a good one.
He had a good run.
Yeah, no, like. Also, I've liked learning about her character, and then we had also the cool thing about her is they brought her back while she's been fighting for X-Men 97, and she had like arguably was one of the most interesting characters in that show. Like,
Yeah.
I think her along with Cyclops probably had some really cool stuff. But yeah, it was great. Oh, I guess Remy too.
Yeah.
But I like, so yeah, we had classic Rogue brought back, and then like finding out about like, oh, how she's now has Wonder Man powers, and she can control everything and from a distance. And I actually did have an argument prepared for her versus Superman, depending on how it rolled out. But was like, because theoretically, if all of Marvel was like, lend me your powers, Marvel.
Right.
And then she's like, and then she's like, okay, Man of Steel.
I am
let's go."
interfaced. Yeah. Also, the thing with Superman is, regardless of how powerful he is, kryptonite. Like, kryptonite.
Used to be.
I mean, it used to
And
be.
even then, I still think like kryptonite, when you really think about it, like depending on how you argue Superman, because he's faster than light. Once you get faster than light, how does the kryptonite affect him? Because somehow he can see.
So what I would do if I had all of the Marvel knowledge of everything, fighting Superman. Okay, well, clearly there's that one gamma frequency that can target this alien being. You could figure that out because you have all the knowledge of everybody. Shit. It's almost
I would just do a straight power thing, like if because she can absorb every character. She once gained all of the Avengers in one thing, so just have all of like the heroes on Earth combine their powers into her. So then she's Hulk, Thor, fucking Wonder Man,
right.
You name it. She's like all of those, Silver Surfer,
right.
And then and like someone like Silver Surfer,
Surfer guy, I think it'd go up against Superman easy.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, he could just emit that gamma spectrum.
Right, exactly.
You have to figure it out and stuff. But then again, like, you've got the genius of like
Reed Richards,
like Bruce, like Reed Richards, Bruce Banner, especially with the gamma stuff.
Right. Use the villains. You have Doctor Doom, Thanos. So I mean, that would be my argument. Is, so how I would do it. Okay, so here's the playing field. I'm Rogue going up against Superman. Find a way. Okay, well, he gets his power from Yellow Suns or whatever. Take out every yellow sun, leaving nothing but the red suns in just the galaxy, because you're fast enough to do it. You have surfer power, and you can use Multiply Man to multiply yourself and take out all the suns all at once collectively, and then he'll be weakened and have nothing but red star energy. He's still got juice in him, but he's on borrowed time. Well, fuck you. Now I can just, boop, 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 kryptonite frequency, and just depower you entirely. You have nothing. You are a depowered Superman, is how I would...
Okay.
Yeah. Rogue with all the power.
Here's how I think it would probably go down. I still think she can handle it. Is whatever reason she thinks he's against mutant rights or something. I don't know. She flies up, she's bam, just like nothing, right?
Right.
Even with Wonder Man power, she's just like
ow.
Boom. And then she probably but I imagine he could take it on the chin. She's like, what? And then he's like trying to talk to her and stuff, and now she realizes nope, touches him. He doesn't know she can do that. She could even do it remotely now.
Right.
Absorbs his power. All of a sudden, it's Superman v Superman. In terms of power scaling, now the fight starts getting interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's fought against Parasite and stuff like that, but he doesn't Parasite often kicks his ass quite a bit, and then so you have Parasite plus Wonder Man powers, plus potentially she's gaining other powers as she goes, and she, unlike Parasite, she touches him, she gains new knowledge,
right?
So she would know about weaknesses and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So she's our champion. I think it's a perfect champion.
Yeah.
I'm excited that Rogue's taking it. So we're gonna work on a season 2 list.
New list.
I will send you. I mean, I think so, right? You want to keep it going?
Yeah, let's keep it going.
All right, so I'll send you the existing list, and we'll try and pick characters that weren't on this, and we'll try and get back to 100, and then we'll see what we can do. It's gonna be hard. I mean, I know
You know what?
it's like,
Let's do people like Spawn, Swamp Thing, fucking
I
Hellboy.
think he was on the list.
Was he?
Who?
Oh,
Yeah, Swamp Thing. I'm pretty sure was.
no, Swamp Thing wasn't on the list.
I can check.
No,
but I
he
thought
did. He definitely wasn't on the list. Dread was on the list. Skywalker was Harry Potter on the list. I think Harry Potter was on the list.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured. It
I mean, I had a couple ideas of some characters, but yeah,
Just a Predator, a Xenomorph.
I think Predator was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Predator was. Yeah, we had some good ones.
No
We just going
squirrel
down the
girls, none of that crap.
list. Well, yeah, but sometimes you don't even find out. I didn't think Squirrel Girl was that overpowered, really. Especially, we had some weird stuff on here.
Hannah
So we've
Montana.
had Rick Sanchez, Constantine, Poison Ivy, Christine, Walter White, Peter Pan, Snake Eyes, Ripley, Voltron, Dexstar, Joker, Hulk, T-1000, Leela, Robin Hood, Yoda, Darkseid, Silver Surfer, Herbie, Ray, Palpatine, Kratos, John McClane, Gandalf, The Crow, Skywalker, Robocop, Hit Girl, Legolas, Batman, Jon Snow, 11, John Wick, Doctor Doom, Zach Morris, Cherry Darling, Hannah Montana, thanks to We Know Who,
Yep.
Lobo, Jason, Buffy, Saitama, Rocky Balboa, The Flash, Teen Wolf, Predator, Starkiller, Mary Poppins, Inuyasha, Nightwing, Beatrix the Bride Kiddo, Harry Potter, Xena, Wonder Woman, Naruto, The Thing, Optimus Prime, Spider-Man, Conan, Green Lantern, The Mandalorian, He-Man, Cartman, Air Bud, Wolverine, James Bond, Gordon Freeman, Goku, Bender, Mario, Godzilla, Battlecat, Gizmo, TMNT, The Killer Rabbit of Carbonog, Zorro, Arya Stark, Lion-O, Power Girl, Judge Dredd, Captain America, Han Solo, Ron Swanson, King Kong, Indiana Jones, Spock, Pikachu, Terminator, and then Superman, Thanos, and Iron Man. So, yeah.
I missed a couple of those. Can you say them again?
So I knew it was going to go on, but I might as well go over who's fought.
Right.
Since this is the end. We've been doing this for like forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and Rogue had by far the second highest in wins, I think, was Iron Man with 5, but she had 9, so she had almost double that.
Okay. So, in the next couple of weeks, we will put together a new list. Hopefully, get some new faces on there. Yeah, that'd be fun.
But yeah, it was hard when I was creating it to get like enough female characters because it was just like I don't know what that is, but there's just so much more in nerdy. That's why I was like Mary Poppins. Although Mary Poppins, I maintain is an interesting.
No, she's like a reality warping god. Like she's like a Mr. Mixapidalic type character.
See, I think her, the clown from It, and Miss Frizzle. I think they're all the same
type
race.
of thing. Okay.
I think they're all the same race, and they all derive power from children, and they all get it in different ways.
Okay.
Like the It clown, is scary and he feeds on fear and things like that. Mm-hmm. Mary Poppins feeds on that kind of sense of imagination and wonderment and joy.
Right.
And then Miss Frizzle similar, but they get their power the same way. But she does it through teaching, and Mary Poppins gets it through being, what do you call it, their nanny.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like a similar thing, yeah. Because, Miss Frizzle, she's basically a reality warping god. She's like, we're shrinking, and now we're going inside, and this is the human digestive system.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's what it feels like to be ejaculated by a salmon. Good for them.
I wish I was in Miss Frizzle's class. I used to read those books all the time.
Constant peril. Constant peril. The kid in the glasses. What was his name? The one that was always terrified of everything. Like the only sounded like the voice of reason in the entire class in the room was the kid with the glasses. Like, no, we really shouldn't be doing this. We're gonna die.
But they all learned.
Yeah.
I learned along with them.
Yeah.
I used to be before I could read. My mom would read me the books, but I would want her to read the little speech bubbles too, and she refused.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was robbed. Anyway, let's jump into this week's Behold Nerds.
Oh yeah. So, okay. So this is going to be our weekly segment where we take turns picking a thing for us to watch. Next week we're going to be, or reading in case for next week. Yes. Where's mine? Mine's over here, Barrett. Underneath the book. So this week to round out Star Wars week, we took a look at the better sequel of the two awful sequels. The Battle Star Wars, an Ewok Adventure, the Battle of Endor, or Battle for Endor. My goodness, I had never seen this movie before. Frosty didn't even know this movie existed. It was better than the first one. Mr. Frosty, what did you think?
Okay, so to this movie's credit, okay, I'm gonna say the good.
Okay.
So there was one thing about this movie I enjoyed. So the movie starts, and you know, it sucks already because like, what's his name? Wicket has learned English.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ewoks just know English now.
The jaw moves now.
Yeah, I'm like, but he just speaks English now, and like, and like, so I'm like, oh, they can just learn English, okay,
Yeah.
fine, but he's still just as annoying. And she's talking about they're gonna go home, and it's got the dad there and everything. Anyway, then all of a sudden it goes Conan, like budget Conan, and like, and like a bunch of guys in terrible costumes who can barely move in the scalding heat come riding in, and then they're like, they start attacking Ewok village. Now this is where the movie gets good because Mom is dead. I was like,
right, you're right.
And then like her brother, he turns around and the same brother from the last movie, and he's just as annoying. And then he gets blowed up, and I was like, wow, this movie's instantly. I'm like, and I'm watching Ewoks die left and right, and I'm just like, oh. When they said better than the last one, I did not know this is the redemption movie I needed in Battle for Endor. Hell yeah. I don't even care if it's like shitty low effects. And then she runs back to her dad. Then there's a shitty moment with the dad. And the budget Conan villain's like, raw the power. Rah. And then budget evil Lynn's there. And anyway, the dad's like, yeah, they're dead. And the dad's like, yeah, I know. And now I'm going to die too because I don't want to be in this movie. Bye! But unfortunately, we're left with the little girl who I guess is the main character of the last one anyway. But if you cared about this movie, I imagine you would be mad because it made the entire previous movie irrelevant.
Right. See, Lucas did it fucking first.
But anyway, so it made that irrelevant. Then
you know what it did? It did in Aliens 3. That's what it reminded me of.
I thought Aliens 3 as well. Anyway, so the little girl, she gets captured by the people with Wicket. They escape through a hatch, and then.
So did you notice that the goobers that they were using were the same goobers that they used in The Mandalorian season 1?
Yeah. What are they called? Bergs or something?
But yeah, so there you go. There's some connective tissue between The Mandalorian and the Ewok adventures.
Blurgs.
Blurgs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, then she goes and hangs out with Noah.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, the hero of this movie is just some like
The
old dude who
the
like is
diabetes guy.
really mean to her, a little girl at the beginning. Get out of my house! And then like I don't know. This movie. Here's let me sum up this movie. My experience watching this movie.
Okay.
I'm watching the girl walk with Wicket,
Hmm.
and my mind remembered an MST3K quote where like the movie had just started, it's maybe 5 minutes in, and then like Crow's like, so we're like 20 minutes into this movie, right? And then like, and then like, I was like, yeah, it feels like that, you know. And then it just kept going on, and it just kept not ending, and I just kept not caring, and I just here's what I don't get: why do you keep doing? You know I don't like Ewoks anyway.
Because
Return of the Jedi I do not enjoy because I hate Ewoks that much. So you put me through the more Ewok and then more Ewoks. So I'm guessing that the next one's going to be Return of the Jedi, and then when you're done, you're going to be like, now we're watching the Ewok cartoon.
oh no, we're done. We're done. No, no more
Sure.
Ewok. No more Ewoks.
I don't know why you want me to keep experiencing Ewoks. Like
Because it's Lucas's greater vision of a children's series for his franchise, right? He wanted to make a thing that was marketed for children. What's great about this one is that it felt like a self-contained 80s kids movie, down to the graphic death of the villain at the very end, where he like barbecues from the inside and he's just left like the smoldering husk. That was cool.
for what reason too? I didn't get that. So the Night Sister, she
You're not allowed to say that. That'll offend people.
no, she is. She's the Night Sister from the sect of Sith witches from the mysterious planet of Dathomir
Neat.
that were sensitive to the dark side of their force. They made their first appearance in Dave Wolverton's book, The Courtship of Princess Leia, and would later appear in the comic series Star Wars Infinity End. They had dealings with Count Dooku and appeared in the third season of Star Wars The Clone Wars. I looked this shit up.
So
Because I'm tired of you fucking assholes implying that I don't like or know Star Wars. No, I just don't. I just like Star Wars differently than you. But anyway, but yeah. So then, but I didn't get what happened. So that she turned into a crow, and then he took her ring,
right,
so she couldn't turn back.
I guess.
Is that like a? She seemed to be happy about it, but then he took the ring, and then like Wicket like
threw
threw
a rock at it. Yes.
It might have even been fruit because he showed how good he was eating fruit. But he threw something at it, and then it hits, and then he turns to like the stone or something.
Yeah. No, he gets like burned.
Yeah.
He dies. He's just like the ash.
And then I guess Chara is stuck in bird form. That's what I mean. It wasn't very good, even if you wanted to be like ignore the Ewoks. It still wasn't good.
Right.
This was just bad.
It was better than the first. It was more
No,
structurally
but that doesn't
sound.
mean anything.
It had
That doesn't
Wilford
mean-
Brimley. It had the diabetes guy in it. Sorry, the diabetes guy in it. My
I didn't
good.
know who he was.
So you never seen those commercials or oh, I have diabetes and these are my testing supplies. Oh, you're not a child of. You're from the UK. So he went on to sell these diabetes supplements. Wilford Brimley. I'll send you the.
Apparently, get this, they wanted to make a third one too.
Oh, what stopped them?
It was in planning stages, but the film was never made.
So after that, they released a bunch of animated stuff, Ewok related, and then they had
this was
the
made
Droid
for
series.
TV, but it did get a theatrical run in Germany.
Okay. I think for a generic, family-friendly '80s movie, it's fine. Now, what bothered me the most, and probably one of the worst things, I think this is, I think this, what the series does is one of the worst things that's ever happened to Star Wars, where it introduced familiarity to the universe, the galaxy far, far away. They have horses on Endor, just everyday, regular horses. That's not Star Wars. I want to see more of the blurgs, like, so you can see the budgets, but God, I feel like they could have worked around just, hey, have some horses. Like, that sucked me out of all of it. That's what sucked me out of all of it. It was just having a horse just...
Right. There was this stupid little thing that could run fast and like
teak,
and then like the angry grandpa yelling at the little kid, and then deciding all of a sudden, no, it's okay, I'll be your grandpa now. And then they just were like, well, now, and then the power, and then she's like, you must unlock the power. Wait, none of you get that it powers the starship, like who? You're a night sister, and you don't
remember before there was the Force, then there's the Force, and then there's the power, and then there's the way, then there's the thread. So it's Star Wars. Oh, I need the power. It's like a fuel cell.
I have heard arguments that magic in Star Wars is different to Force, but yeah, I don't know. Anywho. Yeah, this was just crap, and I'm just so sick of it. And I don't know, man.
I thought it was great when the little glider falls after the girl falls through the glider, and the glider crashes, and there's no hole on the glider. It's perfectly
I know.
intact.
I was like, oh shit, are they gonna kill her too? Finally.
Oh, okay. So,
they should have. That's where the movie should have ended. Is she gets grabbed and flown away, just have her just like carried off.
A Rian Johnson film.
Oh, and then he takes off on his thing, and it just nosedives, and for no reason just blows up.
A Rian Johnson film.
Wicket died and tried to rescue her. And
yay!
Yeah.
So, if you missed it, rewatch it. Just rewatch the scene. It's the scene towards the end where Wilford Brimley is trying to... He plugs in the core, and he's hitting the buttons. It sounds like he says, fuck. He says...
Oh, I heard that, yeah.
Okay. He's like, "Ach!" Like, I rewound that a few times. I can't think of any other word he could possibly be saying.
No, he, I did hear it, but then I was like, oh, he just said this. I can't remember what it was now. But I know exactly the part you're talking about. Yeah, because it does sound like he says fuck in it. You're right, that did have that scene, so, you know.
Yeah. I came out of nowhere like, wait, what? Like, rewind.
Oh god, this movie though, I just kept trying and it just kept going on and on.
Now,
and
see,
on,
in my head, Wilford Brimley took what's her name, little curly-haired girl to some Hutties like outer rim planet where I don't know, child wives are legal or something, or just child wives, and he can have a child wife. Or something, or maybe just a slave thing.
Nah, he's don't make it weird. He was a grandpa guy. And I felt, and then like he felt bad for his friend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it at least that. I mean,
so
I don't want it.
I didn't understand the moat. Like the guy put a stick in it. I thought it was like acid or something. But then the moment they touched the water, like Wicket touches the water. First thing, and there's no repercussion from it. There's no recourse. Is there like a goober in the water? Like, I don't know.
I did think it was a weird choice of protagonist. He's like, I'll fight you for it. Her, and it's just like a grandpa with a stick,
yeah.
Versus budget
guy with a sword,
like villain with his big ass sword and all. It's just like, you know, this is honestly, I've never seen Grandpa with a stick take on budget Skeletor, you know? I mean, like, yeah.
You enjoyed little bits of it. I know you did.
No, I just...
So, the part that also took me out was when they're there working the turrets at the end, and there's just no glass.
There's no glass.
There's no glass. Okay, you saw that too. Oh god, this movie is a treasure. It truly is. I don't understand why the one's on meth and just has super speed, Was that ever explained? Because it was an Ewok, but he looked like he didn't look like your average Ewok.
He wasn't an Ewok. He was some other species, I assume.
He looked like some goober. Actually, I have some information about him somewhere. I need to go through the sacred texts and find what the previous legacy has to say about Teak. Whatever the fuck that was. I hate this movie. Was so stupid, but I loved it.
Oh, apparently the film's tagline, get this, the mightiest combat of the galaxies. That's just not even a good sentence. I mean...
So, I love the part when the Ewoks roll the logs down the hill and the Weequay guys were like, oh shit, and they're running away from it, not off to the side. I would have just stepped away and then let the logs go by and then just continue my pursuit towards the things. I wouldn't have run downhill from the rolling things. That's stupid. Just saying.
What? How do I spell that thing's name? T.
T-A-E-E-K, I think.
T-E-A?
I think it's T-A-E-E-K. I think. Oh, God. Do I have the book down here? Oh, I have it upstairs, but it's weird. It's something like that.
There it is. He's a member of the teak species.
Okay.
They're just named after him, I'm guessing. Yeah, they're blah blah.
How close was I with the spelling?
It's T-E-E-K, so there's no
Okay.
A.
Okay. I knew
It
there was
doesn't
two
really say,
E's.
it just says that, yeah, they're known as the species, the teak species. And then it's giving an overview of the film.
So you can see where the Ewok and the Teak have it like a common ancestry because they look similar enough to where at some point in the evolutionary...
I guess. I mean... Oh,
except the horses.
God.
Where do the horses come from? So, I want to know where this falls in the timeline, because this can't happen after Empire, because they have all that Empire shit still laying around. Presumably. This can't happen before, or Jedi. This can't happen...
3-ABY.
3-ABY?
That's what it says.
So, this is before Jedi? So, how do the Ewoks then lose all knowledge of... I don't know, speaking English, recognizing humans to where Wicket now wants to eat them for dinner.
The third year after the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
So yeah.
So they just forget English all of a sudden? They forget that
I think only not Teak. I think really only Wicket spoke it. The other ones understood it, and it could have been another. Although I assume, yeah, they learned. Hey, let's knock it over. They've used their combat skills. Where did all their magic go? I don't know. But that's when it took place, so I guess that was the Empire was around, right?
Yeah. So this
So
is before
they
they...
were-
So I like to think that as that ship flew away, they reported back to whatever Imperial...
Oh, they're the
agency.
reason the moon's there, the base is
Yeah.
put there.
Yeah, I would like to think that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. Turns out, like, whatever her name is like some... Like the daughter of some... Like her father was some Imperial or something.
She's the chick in Endor. The evil lady in the Empire.
Yes.
That's her grown up. The blonde girl,
Oh, fuck
has her
yeah.
hands
Oh, hell yeah. Work it in, damn it.
Anyway.
So next week we will be talking about the first 10 chapters of Guilty Pleasures right here.
Yeah, Guilty Pleasures, the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter, the very first. Have you read any of it yet?
Not yet. I'm saving it for this week because I want it to be fresh. It looks like it's going to be quick because the chapters are really quick. So
Yeah, I've finished it like the next day. It was just like, I could keep reading, and I was like, no, don't do that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to discussing some Anita Blake. It'll be nice too, because like I haven't had anybody to discuss this with. It's like a big part of my,
your thing.
What makes me, but the stories that feed me.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's 12:15. Oh yeah, so you know what I've been doing lately? So Elden Ring was kicking our butts, and we just needed a break from Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's download No Man's Sky because they're still working on that game.
Yeah.
Since they and
They're still updating shit.
yeah, they're just always, and it's all free.
Yeah.
And so what sucks is it didn't let me take my game from my PlayStation 4, so I had to start fresh.
Ah.
I would have liked to have my old stuff, but pretty quickly, I've got some cool shit. I mean, my base isn't there yet, and I do have a freighter which I've played before. Like now you can have fleets with freighters and stuff.
Yep.
And so I do have a freighter. I just need to work on it.
I was just what drove me nuts. I can never get good at the space combat. It was so awkward.
I know. I've heard you don't like the controls. When I was thinking about it, I was like, I bet you if I talk about this on the show, you're going to talk about the controls.
Of course.
I find it weird because to me, it's just there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine. Anyway. So you said, but I found I'm playing with fellow nerd Joe. And I'm a little annoyed because I found a settlement and they're like, hey, be our mayor. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, now my settlement's on this shitty fire planet and it's just always on fire. And I'm just like, this is not, why are we here? But I keep doing missions for it and then unlock stuff. But now I have a mech.
Oh, cool.
And so and the mech can be deployed from my freighter if I want when I enter a system. Mm. And so, yeah, it's like, I freaking fly into a system and my ship, even though I only just started, I just happened to find this. I'm pretty sure fellow nerd Joe's a little jealous. It's a sentient ship. And
you
it's
just
like
found it?
Yeah, and I had to fix it in my brain how to interface with it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have a cool, fucking cool looking ship that's sentient. You can build your own ships, but you have to find them and repair them and then break down the components and the whole chore. I just found this dope, and it's so unique you can't even change it. It's one of the ultra rare ones. And so
shit.
I had this really cool ship, and then I followed the missions, and now I have a mech. And so it's I fly in, summon on my freaking freighter with my crew, with my frigates around me and stuff. We're boom, and then it's the fucking Death Star, not Death Star, but a Star Destroyer with all its ships around it, and we're just and then I come out on my little ship, fly down to a planet, and then immediately send it in. It's bam, and it lands and comes back up. And it's got it's semi-sentient as well. Mm-hmm. So it follows me around, or I could hop in it and pilot it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm having fun with this. This is good. I really like the updates they've done. But I do kind of want to play, even though Star Wars. Anyway, I do want to play Outlaws. That looks cool. Have you seen that?
So I heard God, the internet. So I heard it's a decent game. It's not anything groundbreaking, but just a decent game nonetheless. I saw a really cool cutscene with Vader in it that was pretty fucking badass. Yeah, I saw a really cool fucking scene with Vader. So, yeah, if you get it, play it. Let me know how it is.
I was trying to convince my sister's boyfriend. I was like, "Hey, you should buy that." Because he's got a PlayStation downstairs that takes discs. I only have digital.
Okay.
He plays video games in a very strange way. He has this PlayStation, and then he goes onto eBay, and he buys used games for $6.
Mm-hmm.
And then he plays them on that way for a bit, and then he resells them back on eBay for a few bucks.
No.
And that's how he plays his games. So right now he's playing Horizon Forbidden Dawn or whatever.
Okay.
And that's what he just does, and that's how he plays video games. And then when it was funny because when he moved in here, he was able to. I linked our PlayStations, and I was like, "Oh yeah, look at my library," and it's 100 games or something. And I'm just like, "Yeah, I guess I play. It gives you 3 free games a month. I mean,
Oh, that's
you know,
cool.
yeah. I mean, not free. You have to have the service.
Yeah,
but, like, that's how
PlayStation
you
service.
play with people.
Right.
Yeah, and it keeps a lot of the games from PlayStation 4 and stuff. So yeah, I really want to play that game. Oh God, it's the pirate game. Have you seen that one?
Which one? Is that the one that's like Ark? That's pirates. 'Cause there's that game.
Not. It's like I play. It used to be Microsoft exclusive, their Xbox, but now it's on PlayStation. But you're Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a fun game. You have a boat, and then like if me, you, and like say Joe were playing it, you each pop in as your pirate, and then they give you a boat, and you can choose what kind of boat you want, either the big one or the small one. 3 people, we could handle a big boat, and then we just hop on the boat, and then like you have to have one person like sailing the thing. The other people are running around controlling the sails and slowing
mast
down your
and shit.
speed.
Right.
Yeah, because it's a big ship, and then you're like going with the waves and stuff, and then it's open so you can get attacked by other players and stuff, and then like you're trying to like find treasure and stuff. You load it onto your ship, and this is the pirates. They can come up and they can steal your treasure, so you're trying to get it back to sell it to unlock better stuff for your character. And it's a really fun game. But when it came out, my critique was, "This is awesome. I love the format. It's ultra fun. There's not enough to do."
Okay.
You know, like when a game like you're like the world is perfect. It just there needs more
More to do.
You know, like yeah, it's like and now apparently there is like a megalodon will show up, and then you'll have a sea battle against a megalodon, and
Pretty
like
cool. Like a fight against a cricket or something.
yeah, like the previous game, it was just you grab your mission, you go to an island, you'd fight skeletons, you grab a treasure chest, throw it on your boat, sail back to, and then sell it for more, and then the unlocks are all cosmetics, and it was just the world was perfect, like, but they just needed more gameplay, you know.
No, I get it.
Like No Man's Sky when it came out, you
Yeah,
know?
just needed more to do. It's a completely, it's an entirely different game now than what it was when it released.
Yeah, it's completely different. And that's what I mean. So I've heard it's updated and stuff, and I've also heard like the players have created their own like pirate community, like when you pull up like on your ship, apparently like another pirate ship. Because if it's just me and you, we'd have the small boat. We're no match for those big boats.
Right.
We're faster, I think. So I think in the shallows or something like that. So like, but if we're fucked if we're just caught out to sea, so we're just like, but we can go parlay, and I'll be like, okay, and then they come on, they'll just take all our fucking shit, but we can go,
Right.
you know, or like maybe we can trade, you know, or something,
Right.
stuff. And that is something completely organic. The players just started coming up with and stuff, yeah. So
I mean, pirates, right? I mean,
yeah, it's just I like stuff like that, you know.
Is it cross-platform?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's like $40 on the PlayStation, so I'm gonna wait. If it ever, it's on my wish list though. But I'm enjoying No Man's Sky. It's fun to revisit. I love the mech. That's what I'm working on right now. I want to update my mech, and then I want to update my freighter and my frigates. And,
so can you have like giant like fleet battles then between your ships? Do they like AI pilot themselves or?
Yeah, so I think sort of. I mean,
can you fly a freighter?
No, you can't. Like you land your ship on it, and then you're like, let's jump to these coordinates.
Okay.
And then you can send your smaller like cruisers and frigates and things like that. You can send them off on expeditions, and they bring back money and resources.
Oh, that's cool.
And then if you want, you can have a squadron. I haven't done this yet, and I think your squadron can be up to 4 people. not people, but like AI people.
Yep.
And I think, yeah, and then you can attack other. I know you can do this. You can attack other frigates and kind of pirate that way. They've also, I haven't explored it much, but there's also like entire pirate systems. And like if you go there, when you have to like have illegal passports to get back into trading with other systems after you've been there.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, like there is so much to do. It's like I'm a little like lost where to start. So that was like why, like in some ways it kind of is annoying because I just like to get it going. It's like build your base, and so I built a little base. I'm like, but now my base is on this. I would have built on somewhere more exciting than this place. I just call it Frostlandia. And then the person I played with, I just named his planet because he's out there. I called it just Joelandia. And then like Joelandia is just this burning fire inferno. And then these settlers are like, help us, because like they were getting attacked by things. So I'm like, pew, 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 pew. And then like, yay, I did it. And Joe is no help. He kept just trying to fly overhead, and I'm like, they're healing. You're not doing anything. Anyway, but
Was he trying to shoot them down with his spaceship, and he kept missing, and he just kept flying by because the mechanics are different?
I was hitting them, but like they just it wasn't doing enough damage, and you have to like what you need is two people. One person shooting it, and then when the other bots come in to heal, have your other buddy heal. Or now it's fine. I'm in my mech. I'm just like, I'm just like blow up.
Nice.
And the ships are good. Like this big ST Walker thing comes up on me, and I'm in my ship, and I'm just like, oh, so scary. And I just tear it apart, and like, because I'm on a ship,
Right.
But yeah, it's but so I saved the town, and then the town's like, yeah, be our mayor, and I was like, but your planet sucks.
Right.
But whatever, I did it, and and that's what unlocked the mech and stuff. So it's like, I got a mech out of it. Also, a little robot buddy that like follows me around, and I guess because you can find if you find an animal. I haven't done this yet because I'm looking for the right one. But if you discover a creature or find a creature you like, feed it food and you can ride it, you can do that. But you can feed it food and then it becomes your companion. So I think you can walk around with your AI mech, your AI robot, and your pet.
Nice. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a size limit because some of those dinosaur-looking ones. There's a lot. I see a lot of Stegosaurus though. It still needs better creature diversity.
I was going to ask, how's the generative models? Are they better? Do they have more stuff to it?
I don't know. I am in one area mostly still, because I'm trying to just. I don't have to leave, and I'm just trying to like do some of these quests. But at some point, I want to go like off into some weird neck of the universe. But
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, like so far, it's been pretty limited. A lot of Stegosaurus-looking things, a lot of brain squid.
Oh, the brain
And then
squids.
birds, Yeah, it looks like a little brain with like tentacles
Yeah.
coming, and it's just like,
Yeah.
and then there's just like an enormous amount and then like a lot of the stuff you're like, oh, you can feed them and ride them, and then you're just sat awkwardly, weirdly at the front of the creature, like perched really stupidly on it, and you're just like, why? I look so dumb right now. But I do think it is funny because anytime I'm playing with Joe and I'm just following him around, I just immediately feed something, and then he's just sitting there going mew mew mew, with his laser, and then I just some random creature in the background. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
Whatever you want. It's No Man's Sky.
I want to know, can you get a bird? But like, they're always up in the sky. Like, I can't think you could feed them.
Oh.
That's what I think you should be able to do, is like fly up on your ship, hop out, and be like standing on your ship as it just stays hovering. But you can't do that.
Yet.
Anyway. Yeah. Their next game looks. I hope they don't disappoint again. But like at some point, watch the trailer for their next game.
What's it called?
Something Burning Light or something like that. it's an RPG like survival thing, but it's planet sized.
Mm-hmm.
And then the idea is the players, I think, are gonna develop like the technology of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It looks crazy. I'll have to send it to you. It's one of the. It pulled, even though No Man's Sky did it, and I'm not now that I've heard the story, I don't necessarily think it's their fault.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the trailer for this, and it did the same thing to me. I'm like, oh my god, that's everything I've ever wanted in a game. And I'm like, this is the most revolutionary game. Shut up and take my money. And it's all it is a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like No Man's Sky did.
Right.
Like,
Fool me
yeah.
once. We should.
It's fooling me again, though.
No, send me the link. I'll check it out. We should probably wrap it because I need to do some cleaning today. My goodness, I have to. House is messy. For those.
I got Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah. Oh, big stretch, big. Oh, Papa Bear stretch. So yeah, let's wrap it. For those of you who watch, thanks for watching. For those of you who will watch, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things. Tune in next week. Give us a couple weeks to get the new Battle Nerds list set up. But why don't we talk some pitch stuff next week? Let's get back to being the pitch nerds.
Yeah, or we could talk about it like just off, like just me and you texting over the week, see if we can come up with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more next week, and I'll talk to Gus as well as I do want to have Megan on at some point. So
bring her on.
I'll see if I can slide into her DMs and if she agrees to be on the show.
Use your Riz.
I saw this thing that was like, you slide into her DMs. I am her DM. We are not the same.
I'm going to steal that.
I want to see if I can get Megan to join my D&D game now. What if I can get one? Would you? I know that you're not big on D&D, but what if I can get a D&D game where it's like me, you, someone like Megan, and somebody like because he's talked about playing as well. Project Impact.
Okay.
Something like that, like completely new group, just a quiet D&D game.
Yeah,
sometime.
Maybe.
That would be kind of cool, like a pitch nerds one. We could talk about it on the show.
That'd be fun. Go slide into some DMs, Frosty. And the show with a nerdy quote.
Okay.
Do it.
I can't do a voice at all.
Do it.
Hey, remember me? I'm Rogue. I'm an X-Man. This is my house, and you're trespassing. Trespassing. Can't do it. So, I'm giving you the boot.